All right, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakak, Kodash, Daban, the apostles, and those are great millstone. Um, yes, I know y'all with the blood of truth, man. This lesson, I'm going to call it, The Blood Shall Be on Your Hands. Well, I'm going to put it, America, the blood shall be on your hands. And the blood is going to be on your hands, all right? Because of the your ill nature towards the nation of Israel. You know, the nation of Israel, through prophecy, is going to rise up against you know, the other nations, all you nations, mainly the so-called white men. All right, and that's going to lead to race wars, and ultimately, when the time comes, it's going to lead to your destruction. Okay, and that's going to be brought upon you, really by your own hand. But the Most High, He's the one that's going to Yahweh. He's the one that's going to forward the agenda. Okay, so I'm gonna play a little clip from this Mission Impossible. You know, I'm gonna just play the voice, man. But you know, it's a good thought towards Esau. You know, basically. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it. Shalak.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it, I wonder, did you ever choose not to? The end you always feared is coming, and the blood will be on your hands.
All right, and I like that quote right there. The end you always feared is coming, and the blood shall be on your hands. It reminds me of Isaiah 33, Ezekiel 35, which I'm gonna go into, real quick. Proverbs 11 and 21, because this is for all you people that think we're all part of the human race, and we're just we're supposed to get along and go along, but the Most High is going to destroy the majority of you, all of you Americans. Let's just say that, and He's going to save a very small number out of America. All right. So Proverbs 11 and 21: though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. All right, and that's plain. That fits here in America, because the majority of you people are wicked. You don't care for the Most High. You don't care for His laws. You don't care for anything. All right, you only care about your vainglory. All right, and the things of the world that you can get out of the world. I'm gonna read another one. Proverbs 16:5. Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord. Though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished. And you Americans, for the most part, are proud. All right, and it shows every day. You show it. Every day you show it with these ideals, these philosophies of yours. Whatever category you want to put yourself in, align yourself in. You're showing it every day. Okay, and Salakia. But so this is Ezekiel 35, which I'll get, but I'm gonna express a few points. But your end is near. The so-called white man, if at all, had the chance to treat Jake fairly, okay, which they failed to do so. And what I mean by Jake, I'm talking about the blacks, Latins, and Native Americans who are under the so-called white man, under his rulership in his kingdom. The system that is set up, that you so-called white men and women only prosper from. If you're one of us, you have to sell out to be in the system. But the point is that the so-called white man had his chance in sharing this so-called American dream. In fact, he exploited us. He searched out iniquities. He created institutions. What I mean by he searched out iniquities, he created institutions to undermine us, to degrade us, degrade us as a people. All right. and in turn, he created these caricatures to social engineer us into something that we're not. You know, thugs, pimps. You know, inconsiderate wild beasts. You know, barbaric. You know, savages. You know, and that's the you know the stigma that he's put on our people. You know, so in turn, you know, you're gonna have to pay for that, man. You know, and the so-called white man always feared the rise of the so-called blacks, Latins, and Native Americans. In fact, you knew at one point in your age that we would rise. Speaking on the elites, you know. So, you know, you've created that Second Amendment, and you allow your people to arm themselves when the time comes. You know, that's what the Second Amendment is all about. It's not about, you know, everybody in America that's an American citizen protect themselves from the government. No, it's about you protecting yourselves from these blacks, Latins, and Native Americans. All right. When I read Ezekiel 35:5, it says, "Because the house has had a perpetual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sit thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee." All right. So it's going to be a time where blood shall be pursue you. All right. And it's coming at your own, at the hand of your own mischief, man. You know, towards the nation of Israel. Like I said, you had a chance. The so-called white man had a chance, to basically treat everybody right. All right, and in fact, he did the opposite. So, in other words, it's on your hands. All right, you the one. You so-called white men, they're the ones that searched out iniquities, created the institutions, the think tanks, to destroy us as a people, whether it be hip hop, all right, whether it be your pseudoscience and these institutions, okay. You have done it, all right, and you can't go back on it, all right. So the time has come where Jacob's going to rise up, all right, all right. So blood's going to pursue you, man. Okay, the so-called white man, all right. So Salakia. All right, so Salaki, going back into a few words, man, perpetual hatred. We know that means everlasting. You know, um, if you don't like, if you don't believe what I'm saying, just look up the words itself. I will which it actually means young, but when you go into it, it means ancient. All right, everlasting, old, perpetual. So an old, ancient hatred. All right, so the so-called white man has had a hatred towards the nation of Israel for the longest, and it proved. It proved. I mean, your racism, your system, the system that we live in today, proves it. All right, it's the so-called white man. They try to play the victim role, which they're cowards. You know, they're not an upright nation. They're not a fair nation. All right, so they'll do that just because, you know, they're on the end of. They're on the bad end of the stick. All right. All right. So this is Isaiah 33:1. It says, "Woe to thee that spoilest and was not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled." All right. "And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee." And that's going to come upon Esau. Okay. Because they want to be peaceful. So it seems, but they're really violent. They want to be peaceful with everybody whom they have harmed throughout all history. Okay? They want to be peaceful with the nations that they have pretty much spat on and treated like shit. You know? But the time is coming now where the Lord, all right, is going to pretty much turn that recompense back upon you. You know, so like that quote said, man, the end that you have feared for so long is gonna pretty much come back to bite you in the ass, man. You know, for all your treacherous dealings. All right. Let me see. This is Jeremiah 51:19. It says, "The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms, and with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider, and with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider. With thee also will I break in pieces man and woman, and with thee will I break in pieces old and young, and with thee will I break in pieces the young man and the maid." All right? So everybody's going to get it, okay? Because y'all had y'all chance to be nice, all right? Y'all had y'all chance to be, uh, uh, you know, fair, using equity. But this whole system, this whole democratic or democracy system, I'll just say it like that, this whole American dream, you didn't want us part of it. And we don't want to be part of a shitstorm. That's all, something that's already a shitstorm, okay? We don't want to be part of it. You have those who have sold out, who are of our nation, the leaders among us, whether it be in the Boule Society, fraternities, sororities, they have sold out for your dream, all right? And they have pretty much sold their soul, man. I mean, sold their soul for that corrupt money, that corrupt crown, that vainglory, you know. And they're going to receive their judgment as well, right along with the nations here in America. You're going to be burned up by that thermonuclear fire. All right. Isaiah 66:15, man. You're going to be burned up with that fire, man, right along with the so-called white men and all the other nations that's here in America. Isaiah 66:15, "For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire." All right. So that's how he's going to deal with the nations, man. All right. Mainly the so-called white man, which are the Edomites, according to the Bible, the descendants of the Roman Empire. All right. And the Greek Empire. "For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many." All right. So that's how he's going to plead with all flesh, man. By the fire and by the sword. All right. And here's the point. It says that they that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree, in the midst eating swine's flesh, and the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together, said the Lord. Let's go into the word real quick. And purify themselves in the gardens. Ganah. Hebrew word ganah. Just saying garden, orchard. All right. Can't get nothing spiritual out of that right now. But let's look up this word. One tree, chad. We know one is chad, which is certain. First, another, other, any, once, 11. We'll go with the word certain. It's certain. All right. A certain tree, and we know tree is more like lineage, but so in the midst, in the middle. So you got people lining up pretty much with each other, man. Being in that same mind state, and that's why I read Proverbs 11 earlier. Though hand be joined in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. All right, so these white people are not going to escape. All right, they have done evil things and transgressed against the Most High, the Lord Yahweh, by Yahweh Shai. And there's nothing you Jakes, you blacks, lands, and Native Americans can do to save them, which you're all trying to do now. You know, because whenever we talk about the white person, we don't even have to be talking about the white person no more. I mean, white people. We don't even have to be talking about them. You know, they'll come up and say, "Oh, you know, what do you got against white people? Why you always against white people?" You know, we don't even have to say anything about it. You know, so you know, basically, you Jakes are geared to trying to save the white man's ass. You know, and you're not going to save him, man. All right, he couldn't save himself. So how the hell you gonna save him? You know, you can't save yourself. All right, so how you gonna save the white man? All right, you know, I know it's probably a little bit all over the place, but you know, that's what I was thinking. That was on my mind. You know, I'm gonna play this clip one more time. You know, I thought it was fitting. All right, I thought it was damn sure
To
fitting.
accept it. I wonder, did you ever choose not to? The end you always feared is coming. And the blood will be on your hands. The fallout of all your good intentions.
Hey man, that's even better. The fallout of all your good intentions, man, because they tried to restore it unto us. Things, you know, some things according to Job 20, you know, and for the most part, they haven't, man. You know, they're not going. They ain't, they couldn't do enough to restore. All right. All right. I'm gonna read this. Job 20:4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, because that's the type of space the so-called white man is in. You know, you know, he has that type of clout. You know, he has that type of pride. All right, where he's up there, and really, you Jakes don't even understand that type of pride. Some of us do understand that pride of life and that type of pride that the so-called white man has. All right, where he doesn't even fear anything. You know, they can do whatever the hell they want. They can say whatever the hell they want in full confidence. You know, without having a repercussion of being brought low. But the time is coming where you're going to be brought low. All right. It says, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? He shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. And when you read Wisdom of Solomon 2, it kind of lines up. I don't even say kind of. It does line up. You know, the elites know that their memory is going to be wiped out forever. That's why they tried so hard to, you know, recreate these monuments. That's I can't even say it right. They, you know, have put their mark of themselves in the world, you know, as being the greatest, and that's all going to be wiped away. Okay, I'm gonna hit the point. Here we go. Job 20:10. His children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods. You have these Edomites out here thinking that they're doing something, like they need a cookie for calling themselves racist. Oh, I'm racist because I believe in the system. You know, you want a cookie for that shit. You know, but it's not gonna happen, man. You know, that's a shame that's gonna go with you for the horrific things that you have done, the horrifying things that you have done, the horrifying. You see it. That's horrifying when you see Jake on the street corners being savages. That's a product of the American society. That's what America has made us. All right. It has made our people into savages. All right. Thanks to your institutions. Thanks to you using uh, that pseudoscience memetics to push your agenda, and using the leaders of our people, putting them in the sunken place and forcing them to create this stigma to have the rest of our people follow. You know. And with that, I'm going to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kodash, the bondage, the apostles, and those at Great Millstone. This is Anaya Allah signing off. Shalom to all you Akim. Shalom. Lord willing, this was edifying.